Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Trisha here. If the first time you're here, you're very welcome. Welcome into my kitchen. Today we're going to do like a fun experiment. It was actually a friend in work had suggested to me, if you make scones, make your own mixtures up, and he's done this and was successful, so I thought I would give it a try. We're actually using Hartley's raspberry jelly, the crystal form. We're using coconut, shredded coconut, and I don't have any dark chocolate, like the little cooking drops, so I'm just using Lidl's dark chocolate. And hopefully this combo is going to be, I'm sure you all know about Raspberry Ruffles, dark chocolate and coconut, or raspberry coconut fondant, and they're just loved here, so they are. So if we can replicate them into scones, that'll be even better. So I'm just going to follow a basic scone recipe, and then we'll add our different components. And because I don't know what I'm going to be putting in here, I'm actually going to weigh them, and I'll put what I use. If it's successful, I'll put it down in the description below. Okay, so I'm just going to follow a basic recipe, and it's asking for 8 ounces of self-raising flour. I've just got all-purpose flour here, but I can add my baking powder. Just get that under ounces. And I'm just going to do a single batch of these because I don't know what they'll turn out like. Usually most of my cooking I do double batches, but okay, so that's 8 ounces of plain flour. And what is that in grams? So I need to add 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Usually I add 1 teaspoon of baking powder per 100 grams. So that's 1, 2, and I'll just do half of this spoon. That's 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, which makes that into self-raising flour. And I want a good pinch of salt. Good pinch of salt's going in. Hope these turn out well, guys. And okay, so that's going to be the basic, and we'll just mix that baking powder into the flour, and we'll get it sieved into our bowl. Sometimes I push this through to make it go quicker, and don't worry about writing down the ingredients. As I said at the start of the video, I'll put everything down on the description box. I measure by visually measure if I'm doing something new, so I'll actually weigh it for reference. Okay, so that's our basic dry, and I'm going to add 1 of these packets of jelly crystals. Oh, that pulls apart. And we'll see if we need more. I've actually split that, so that'll be easy enough. Oh, they smell gorgeous. And it has to be the crystallized jelly, guys. So it's just in powder form. I'll let you see it closer. And it's powdered jelly. You can get it in different flavours, but I want the raspberry flavour. So, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. I'm just going to give that a mix to see if I think that's going to be enough. And each one of these wee packets are 23 grams. Sorry, each packet is 11.5 grams. So, one packet. And I'm getting the vapour off that there. That smells gorgeous. We'll give that a wee whisk in to see. And it's giving good colour there, so I reckon that would probably be strong enough. You can sure taste or smell it. So that's one packet I'm using. And I'm gonna rub the margarine in before. No, I'm gonna add the sugar. Need some sugar in here because that's sugarless jelly. So you just need 1 ounce of caster sugar. And that's 1 ounce of caster sugar going in. Give that another wee whisk in. And we'll get our butter or margarine. I'm a margarine girl, you all know that. So we'll get our margarine in and get it rubbed in to the flour. I use this utterly butterly. You've seen me use it over and over. And the recipe calls for 2 ounces of margarine or butter. By all means, use butter if you want. That's dead on 2 ounces. Let's fire this in the fridge. Okay, so just fire that in. And you can do this with a pastry cutter, pastry knife, but just mix it around in your flour just to get it covered so that you're not transferring as much to your fingers. Oh, it smells gorgeous, that like. And I suppose you could put freeze-dried raspberries in here or fresh raspberries, but it might be too wet for the recipe, so excuse me, just wash my hands. I've got a frog in my throat today, and my man's the same, so hopefully it's not going to develop into anything, but anyway. Every time I lift that mixture up, I'm getting the vapour off the raspberry jelly. It smells divine. So just lift your mixture up and rub it between your fingers until it resembles like breadcrumbs. Okay, that's fine enough for me. Let's give the hands a good rub together to get all that back into the... And it comes off pretty easy. And yeah, I think that 1 packet of raspberry crystals is enough because the smell is absolutely just raspberry. Lovely. Okay, so that's what that's looking like. It's quite red. Okay, so coconut wise, raspberry ruffles have a lot of coconut in them, so usually I would do this by handfuls straight into there, but I'm going to wait. Two. And I reckon I would use about that much, so it's 2.5 ounces. I'm just jotting this down here beside me if I make them again. And fire that in. And I'll do the same with the chocolate. I'm just guesstimating with it, but I'll weigh it out for you. Just mix that in. Worst thing about this is, if they don't work out for me, my workmate will be getting a lot of abuse. Not really. Okay, that looks good. So, chocolate wise, this is just regular eating chocolate. The dark chocolate pack out of Lidl's. And I find it great for cooking with. So, for that recipe, I reckon about that much probably. It's like three of the slithers. I'm just gonna chop this. Oh my goodness. And I really should have a wet cloth underneath, but it'll be fine. A wet cloth stops your boards from flying all around the place. That's quite hard to cut that actually. Okay, so I'm not going to cut them any smaller than that. And I'll show you what size I've made them. And I'll weigh these as well, so we'll get a good idea of how much I've used. So I've cut them about that size. Quite a lot of chunks and a lot of slithers. I love trying out new recipes. Let's see what we're getting here. Weight wise. Okay. So that's reading about 2.7 ounces. 2.7 ounces of chocolate. And just fry that in. Make sure you get everything. Don't leave any stragglers behind. And I think that's probably, just give this all just a mix. Yeah, I think that would be enough chocolate in there actually. Just to get tidied up here a wee bit. You know me, I don't like working in clutter, so leave that for the wash. And I think at this stage I'm going to preheat my oven. And it's the recipe for basic scone says, in my glasses, 200 degrees fan oven, which is quite high, but I'm going to put mine on at 190. I know my oven, just the way it works, so. And I'll need the tray for later, so we'll leave that out. And what it was say, 150 mils of milk. That's what the original recipe for basic scone asked for. But I think with that jelly crystals in there, it's going to take a wee bit more. And I'll keep a record of how much more I needed to add. So that's 150. And I'm going to use a knife. Just check I've got everything in. I've got the flour in, I've got baking powder in, I've got salt, sugar, butter, coconut, raspberry jelly, chocolate, and our milk. Just using milk straight from the fridge. And we're going to get this combined. My goodness, look how red it is, guys. And I think this is going to need a bit more milk, just with the jelly soaking the milk up. So that was 150 mils. And you can see how red it is now. I'm excited for this one. So I'm going to weigh out or measure out another 100 mils. Might not need it all. I don't want to make it too wet or it'll be too hard to handle. And I think that's about right there now. So I used probably another 50 mils. So I used 200 mils of milk total. And it's just because of the jelly crystals. That'll do me for my tea. You know how I love my tea. Okay, so, and with any scone mix, you don't want to over knead it. So just put some flour out. And get all this mixture scraped out. It smells divine. And I didn't need to add any more. If I had added any more of that, I think it would have become unworkable or too soft. So I just want to scrape this bowl out to get every bit. Certainly smells like raspberry ruffles. I see a lot of cooking on YouTube and people don't scrape their bowls out, and I'm like jumping into at the TV going, scrape it out, scrape it out. Okay, just the slightest little bit of flour on my hands, and I'm going to work this dough into a nice circle, and that's what it looks like. And chocolate and coconut and raspberry jelly in there. And I think I might use a rolling pin in this, just put a wee bit more flour down. Flour your rolling pin. And we'll roll it out to about, how much do I want this rolled out to? About 3/4 of an inch. And just shape it. If it starts to crack on you, just shape it back into its shape. And I think those are definitely rolled enough. I don't want them too small. And I need to get a cutter. I think I want them about that size. So that's 8 centimetre. 8 centimetre cutter I'm using, and I need to get a wee silicone sheet. Putting the silicone down on top of the wee tray, just so I don't have to use any grease or anything, like so. And I'll start cutting these out. So just start at the outside edge and push down. And people say don't to twirl, but I need to twirl with that. And that's the size I'm making them. They're quite big. Just straight onto the mat. Breaking through the chocolate. 2. Smell adorable. I think I'm going to put that recipe that I used says it should make 10, but I don't think they would have cut them as big as these. But we like big portions here, so. And with your mix, don't be too rough on it. Just squeeze it back into shape. A lot of people would probably knead it and stuff, but I don't do that. I just squeeze it and it'll all come back into shape for you. I'm going to use the top side. Give it a bit of a roll again. These are big scones, guys. But you certainly make them whatever size you like. If you like little dainty scones, make them smaller. We like big in this house, so you just keep squeezing and that'll all go back into shape for you. And cutting through the chocolate is hard. But you can see it there outside. And I reckon I'll get another one out of that. And just squeeze it together. And put it inside the ring. And push it down to get a shape. You want it nice circles. There we go. Okay, so I'll fire this one on the wee small tray. And just as so it doesn't stick. Alright, so that's what they look like. And we're going to get these straight into the oven. So that's 7. We've got 7 here, so instead of making 10, if you use a smaller cutter you'll get more out of them, but I like them big like that. Get them straight in. And that little one can go in there. And I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes. And we'll see how these do. Well, it's at the 10-minute mark, guys. I'm just going to rotate the shelf because I know my oven, it cooks more from behind. Wow. They do look good and they smell gorgeous. And how's that little one getting on? Yep. I'll turn you around too. And they've got another 4 minutes to go, so we'll see what they're like when they're finished. I'm just getting myself a cuppa ready. Do you leave your tea bag in or out? My tea bag stays in. And it's always water before the milk. And tell you what, the house smells like Raspberry Ruffles, believe it or not. That'll make everyone happy here. And just a little spot of milk. Perfect tea. And that's our timer gone off. So let's just check and see if these are done. That was 15 minutes, but don't forget I turned the temperature down by 10 degrees. And I think I'm going to give them just a couple of minutes because the temperature's reduced. So 2 more minutes. And I can enjoy my tea. Is it an Irish thing that everybody loves tea? Our kettle's always at the ready. And boys come in, get a cup of tea to get warmed up. And there's never tea left in cups. You like my little mug? It's all my sheep on it. Perfect with these scones. After the alarm goes off, I'm going to call it. So that would be a total of 17 minutes at 190 degrees fan. Let's see what these beauties look like. Wow. I'll just turn that off. And I haven't forgotten about you, I'll come back for you. There you go. Raspberry Ruffle Scones. Aren't they beautiful? Got a lovely raspberry colour. That is extremely hot. I'll bring you down, let you see, guys. Look at those. Raspberry Ruffle Scones. And I'm actually going to let these sit on the tray to cool because I'm hoping the chocolate that's squirted out the sides there is going to solidify again, and I'll be able to lift it and keep it with them. Aren't they beautiful? And I told my other half I was making these, and he was like, when I get back, don't taste them till I get back. So I'll have to wait on him. But there you go. Raspberry Ruffle Scones. And very easy to make. I missed a step, or I don't think it mattered, but I didn't glaze them with anything. And I don't think it would matter because they're going to have that lovely red tinge from the jelly. You can see it there. And I'm just letting them cool here until this chocolate hardens again. And then I'll put them onto the tray. Alright, we'll be back whenever we're giving these a try, guys. Alright guys, so the boss is back, so I waited until I got back to try these with you. So I'll let him try first.
So what exactly am I eating here?
You tell me.
Right. It looks like a scone, so I'm half right already. It's not your normal scone.
What's it smell like?
Like raspberry ruffle. That's what it smells like. I don't know what it tastes like.
It does smell like that.
Let's try and see.
Tell me what you can taste.
Chocolate.
And?
Coconut.
And?
A wee bit of raspberry.
Oh, you better raspberry.
Very good.
That's what they look like cut open. They're nice.
Excellent. And a nice crust on the top. That's very pleasant. Well done. Good job.
If you didn't know what I'd put in there, would you say they taste like raspberry ruffle?
Yeah, probably.
Here goes. I'm getting a lot of raspberry
They're very good.
and coconut. That raspberry's lovely, isn't it?
Those are good. I'm very fond of scones. But you'll not buy a scone in a supermarket or a shop that tastes like that. That's the essence of home cooking, I suppose. Very good.
So, is that a hit?
Most definitely.
There you go, workmate. You're not going to get a leathering when I get into work because it actually worked out great. And you know who you are. So we're going to enjoy these, and
The only one thing I would say about them is you couldn't just eat one, you'd have to eat two or possibly three.
well, that's hardly a bad thing. Alright guys, there's a seal of approval. So get your ingredients together, your raspberry jelly, your chocolate, and you don't have to buy the deer chocolate or anything. You see now you made these with ordinary eating chocolate and your jelly crystals, and get some of these beauties made. And we're going to go and enjoy these. Thanks, workmate. See you all later. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the
Thumbs up.
and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.